hair specs.
Hair specs. You know, in the old days, when they did sacrifice of animals, they would take the livers out, you know. Mel Gibson, wonderful, bloodthirsty Mel, is making a movie about Mexico, apparently, which is another one of his violent, brutal spectacles, where the people are going to be eating people's livers and doing all this horrible thing, and I guess he wants to get everyone into the movie so that they can be titillated by sadistic brutality. Yeah, ancient peoples, I guess in the Mexico areas, they did used to eat livers of their victims so that they could get their power in them or something. I don't know. That's what the Spanish propaganda said about them anyway. Whether the Spanish propaganda who brought the Inquisition to Mexico is true, I don't know. Wait a minute, I just need a wee sip of this hot juice here. One more and I'm done with it. Okay, so the liver, I've never seen really liver. Some of you are better cooks than me. You've probably seen it. Apparently it's got lines and everything on it. I guess it's the blood vessels. And in the liver, the blood is purified and renewed and so on. So he's saying that's where the blood is revived and becomes vivid again. And so it made sense to look at the liver, which was the sort of center of the blood of the living creature, and see which way the lines moved. And apparently all of them are different. So by reading these things, taking a hot thing and lifting it up and looking at it, they could make some intuitive prediction or advice or explanation that might help you in your life at that moment. That's what it is. But as I said, if I were you, I would read it in the book because the class is really more about the book than about me. And all I did, as I tried to tell you, is to try to midwife these things for you. Midwife Lawrence, midwife Walden's, James Baldwin, and so on. I couldn't do much with Malcolm X. We did that to Spike Lee. Okay. The next thing, the last thing I want to do in this class is The Chosen. This is a novel. I hope you've already read it over Thanksgiving or something, because you don't want to do all your work the very last week. You got enough papers to write, stuff like that to do. Why cram it all into the last week, you know? So I hope you've looked at this. You said, what, Eisenman, why don't you just quit now? That's enough work in this class. Yeah, I agree, but you know, we've got another period or two. You know, each of these periods is a whole week of class in a normal daytime listening of classes. So, you know, we've really got 3 class periods here left in effect. What's left today, and not a whole period obviously, but somewhat of a period, and then the last period and so on. So I don't believe in quitting. I want to shortchange you. So The Chosen, my students, funnily enough, tell me that they really like this book, one of the best of the things that we do, which is surprising to me because it's not a great novel particularly. But there's something touching about it, I think. And this is a novel. It's not a religious work, but since we're doing religious, ethnic, and diversity type things, this is a Hasidic Jewish novel. You say, well, how many people could be interested in Hasidic Judaism? Probably, say, not very many. And yet, the classes I find, whatever people's backgrounds are, like this book. Why do they like this book? I've questioned myself and tried to answer the question. I think I know why they like this book. They like this book because of the tenderness in this book. There is a real, in, for instance, James Baldwin's Fire Next Time and relations with family that he discusses. You don't have tenderness there at all. a lot of anger, some violence and things like that. There's no anger here. There's anger between different people in the book, but not in the families. And there's just tenderness and gentleness. And the weird thing is, once again, it's tenderness between fathers and sons. We all know that mothers and children are daughters and sons and their mothers. Particularly it seems sons like their mothers for some reason. Daughters maybe more odd. Some are companions to their mothers, some